Hi, hello, and welcome. I'm definitely not Vlad, and you're watching the All Tanks All 10s series, where we take every tank spec from character creation to all 10s done in the current season, which is the War Within Season 3. We're currently working on Blood Decay. We're at 692 item level, even though we've created this character last Saturday. I'm recording this on Tuesday morning. And I should add, we have 0 rating. I've done no M+. I've just been doing Delves and M0s, and some weeklies, I guess. But we have 4 restored coffer keys, so I'm going to go grind out some delves. But before I do that, let me show you what I've done to get to 692 item level. There's going to be some stream footage, there's going to be some dubbed over content, but you'll get a good idea of how I got my item level. If you're not interested in that and you just want to see the M+ run, well, you can use the chapters or the progress bar to skip ahead. We're going to go ahead and skip the quest campaign here real quick, and we may as well grab all the weekly keys we can. Alright, so before I do anything, I'm going to start turning in all these rep quests. There's a lot of rep quests we can turn in to get these crests, which we will need in order to be able to craft all these items I want to craft. We'll have more than enough, I'm not even worried about it, but we do need to go and get all of them. So we're also getting restored coffer keys, so we don't have to grind out anything. We'll have more than enough for this character. The reason I came here mostly was to pick up the quest for story mode, or for killing Demencius, but I'll do it in story mode. I'm debating whether it's a good idea for me to try to do this right now, because it's probably going to take for frickin' ever. Do it now. Never saw story mode. I'll do it during the stream for sure. And you know what? F it. I'll do it right now for you, Moob Juices. For you.
One eternity later.
Now I gotta remember to take the portal out. Actually, I'm going to show you what you can do if you forget to take the portal out. So what you can do right now is you can literally leave the dungeon or leave the raid, but it says here, use Xalatath's portal to escape the Dark Heart. If you don't do that, if you just leave like I'm about to, you might think, ah shit, I have to go do the entire thing again. But the thing is, you do not. What you can do is you can go over to Phase General Amir, and if you talk to him and you say play the movie, and you can just skip it, it will actually complete this quest for you. So you don't have to take the portal out in case you forget to do so on a character or something, and then you're like, ah shit, I have to go do this again. You don't. Pro tip. So we're doing this quest because that way we get a weekly activity done. This quest is considered a weekly activity by the game, and doing weekly activities gives you these caches. We did not unfortunately get a actually I think we get it from the cache in this specific instance. No, we didn't get it from the cache either, but we had a chance of getting a fractured spark, and those fractured sparks are what we're going to use to craft items. Damn, I couldn't even tell them that I sent the order and they had already crafted it for me. That is amazing. Well, that was quick. All right, well, that's the jewelry, but I gotta go craft myself the rest of the blacksmithing stuff on my paladin. Craft ourselves some nice little gear. All right, we've crafted all of the plate gear now. Now we're missing a belt and a weapon. The reason we're missing a belt and a weapon is because we're going to upgrade this with the delve belt that we do for that we get from the delve belt quest, the disc container, whatever. And we're also going to get ourselves a weapon upgrade using this enchanted runed ethereal crest. But first, we need to do some weekly quests. But first, before we even do that, we need to fix our transmog, because we can't be walking around looking like a hobo. Come on now. We're better than that. This one, let's upgrade this one. Should that be the cache? That is the cache. Let us take a quick look inside the cache. We got our fractured spark of starlight, which is great. We need one more. And since this is an old activity, we only got 50 coffer shards instead of coffer key shards instead of just an actual coffer key, which is kind of okay with me. Oh, we actually got a fractured spark of starlight from this. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Let's go. Nemesis and Gilded Stash and Bountiful Coffer. Kaboom. Let's see here. We get ourselves some pants. That's actually sick. Crit Mastery pants. Mastery's good. Crit not as much, but we love it. And what else do we get? Nothing really, but now we have undercoin, so we can transfer some undercoin to us from other characters that may have some. That is more than enough. From our bear, from the bear series. Hell yeah. And now we're going to get... Ooh, none of these are particularly good. The Nethergate is good for damage. This one gives us leech, but it's not exactly the most exciting. This versatility one is okay. I'll get the Nethergate, and I'm just gonna macro it into whatever, and that'll be fine. Cool. 2 trinkets. Let's go. 2 trinkets and pants from 1 delve. Amazing. But hey, off to a good start with this character. We got a terrifiable piece right off the bat. I might just settle for getting like terrifying champion pieces on these characters for this challenge, because I'm not too stressed about it just to be able to have tier sets. But we just finished a weekly quest, so we're gonna go turn that in, and hopefully that does actually reward us with another fractured spark. It's not gonna be all the fractured sparks we need because we need 2, but it's something. Come on, weekly quest. There we go. We got another one. That's 3 out of 4. Very nice indeed. And we got a veteran ring, which is, it's something. I'll put it down here in case I want to use it later, but probably not. To maximize our RNG, here's what we can do. We can collect all of the gold first, and we're going to grab the mislaid curiosity over here in the corner. That's me in the corner, mislaying my curiosity, I guess. Another mislaid curiosity over here needs to get collected before we can continue with looting the rest of the delve stuff. So we get left bountiful, right bountiful. Then we get shadowed flickering spoils, Nemesis Strongbox, Gilded Stash, Bountiful Coffer, and if we had a Delver's Bounty, we'd get the Hidden Trove back there. We got ourselves a belt, which reminds me that I'm not doing the Delve Belt quest. So we're going to equip this until we get the Delve Belt because I forgot about it, like an idiot. That's really cool. And now before anyone yells at me, I'm going to right click and leave Delve rather than clicking on the Delve leaving bot thing. All right, time for the loot from the 3rd Delve. Let's see. If Bran would just be so kind as to actually open up this room. Let's observe tradition. We first collect the gold. Then we must look for any mislaid curiosities in the room. There it is. My senses were tingling. I felt it. Left bountiful heavy. Right bountiful heavy, flickering spoils, nemesis, gilded stash, and bountiful coffer. We would take a hidden trove after this, but we have none, so we can't. And we get shoulders, crit mastery. Would prefer a bit of haste on there, but you know, we'll take what we can get. Beggars can't be choosers, can they? And now let's use the leave a bot 7000 because we want to preserve its function in the game. Ooh, okay. And now we need to deal with another set of bullshit daggers. There's one set, there's another set, there's a 3rd set. I think I'm good here. I think I'm good. Okay. Now we need to see what happens. She'll do another massacre. I need to look for those clouds. Need to look for those clouds. When she reaches 50%, she f***s off. You can't kill her in a delve. You have to go to her lair. Second one's over there. We face it. She's almost dead. I'm still sending cooldowns. I want her gone before she summons in the daggers and kills me. We did it. Now let's see if we get a piece of loot. We get a champion 2 out of 8 trinket. That's not better than what I have, but I will freaking take it, man, because it's a free upgrade if I get another one. Cool. And Delver's Bounty has been acquired. Now we get a hero piece at the end of this delve. I swear if you move out of it now, I'm going to lose my mind. Yeah, that's right. Oh my God. He got absolutely destroyed. What the hell? Holy shit, let's go. Okay, well, that's the final delve done. I'm happy about that. Let's go see if we got a hero piece worth equipping. I mean, all of them are worth equipping. I have a bunch of shit gear. Let's collect the gold. There's no mislaid curiosities here. Left bountiful, right bountiful, nemesis strongbox, bountiful coffer, and hidden trove for the end. We got gloves, which are an upgrade, champion gloves, and we got hero boots. Hell yeah, haste mastery, perfect stats. I'll take it. That's amazing. 681 item level. Ka-ching. There we go. We found someone that is going to do it for any fee, and we're going to send it to them. I told them sent and thank you. I tipped them 3,000. I feel like that's a fair tip. And now we wait for our new weapon, and there, our new weapon is in the mail in a moment, as soon as the game decides to, you know, any day now. Any day. There it is. Oh. And now, before I forget, I'm immediately going to go and rune forge it because I am going to forget.
1 day later.
That is 8 delves done in 2 days. I feel like I've deserved respite from delves. It's time for M0s. But first, what we're going to do is collect all of these. We collected the gold, then we're collecting mislaid curiosities. I believe that's all of them. Left bountiful, right bountiful, flickering spoils. Gilded stash would be after the nemesis strongbox, but we don't have that, so we're going to open up the nemesis strongbox. Bountiful coffer, no trove available because we don't have the thing, and we get a fucking belt, bro. Are you kidding me? You're giving me champion belt when I have the disc thing? Whatever, man. I didn't get shit from delves today. Just headaches, baby. Just headaches. I guess I got this crit ring, which is not bad. It gives me a good chunk of crit. Crit's not horrible. It gives us parry. Parry's good. But man, I feel like I got kind of shafted on that. But hopefully in the M0s, we'll do a little bit better. And that's how we got to 692 item level. So the chances of us actually getting an upgrade from Delves right now is pretty slim. The only two items that I can really get an upgrade for are these wrists and this ring. I'm hoping to get at least the wrists, because what I'm trying to get is weathered and carved of the Undermine. Not the Undermine, sorry, of Starlight, of Ethereal. I don't know what it's called, but I want to get to a point where I don't need weathered or carved crests anymore, because then I can trade those up into runed crests, which is going to probably be the weak point of this series, where I don't have enough runed crests to do what I want. All right, well, we're ready to get into the delving part. Oh no. I didn't know that knocked me back, bro. Well, that's one way to find out. I was not ready for that at all. And the final set of bombs that go on the ground are going to take out Victus. There we go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. First we gather the gold, then left bountiful, right bountiful, flickering spoils, nemesis strongbox, bountiful coffer, and next would be the bountiful trove, but we've already done that. We get ourselves a helmet with crit verse. Kind of like the stat distribution more on this helmet, but I don't think it's worth spending valor stones on, to be honest with you, so I'm probably just gonna ignore it. Now we can check Zahran over here to see if we can get a better trinket. I'm gonna wait for this to go away so I don't have to fight some Nerubians. Do you have an ethereal? Ah, yes, and then Ether Gauze. That's what I was looking for. That one I really like. I like that a lot more than I like this. Even though this has strength and the other one has stamina, this feels like a tank's trinket, you know what I mean? Got that big stam, it's got a shield every now and again. I feel like it's pretty much worth it. Sure, blood DK and absorb shields doesn't really mix all that well, I feel like, because you don't have any upfront mitigation. Your mitigation is parry and having a big absorb shield from your death strike, from your blood shield. But on the other hand, one of those auto attacks or whatever that makes it through just gets absorbed. So, you know, smooths in the damage intake profile. Maybe that's just me being stupid about it, but I kind of like it. This one just procs versatility, and it's not the most amazing thing, but we'll put it down here next to the other stuff we're probably not going to use. Oh, well, he got run over. And that's the end of delve number 2. Look at that. Funnily enough, I completed pretty much the entire delve. Went looking for like the ethereal guys that show up, so I can get the nemesis rewards. And then I found a gate, you know, that's great. Anyway, left bountiful, right bountiful, flickering spoils. I want to see exactly what I get from nemesis strongbox. I'm going to try and open it. Okay, we get big EXP, we get some Delver's Journey, 3 runed crests. I am not doing this again. I'm not bothering with that. The 3 rune crest is kind of the biggest thing. Come on, give me a wrist now. That is not a wrist, that is a trinket game. But it's 2 out of 8, so I guess we're gonna get something upgraded to 2 out of 8, or rather get our Ether Gauze upgraded to 2 out of 8. This guy still sells the same things. His inventory changes with the daily reset, when he has 5 different permutations of things he can sell. Oh, sorry, I'm not gonna click on the Levo bot because somebody will yell at me. I gotta leave delve like this. But anyway, no luck on the wrist or ring again. To be completely honest with you, it's probably not worth my time to even be attempting this, but you know, yeah, you know. I got some kind of achievements for this. Delver of the Depths 4. Ah, so there's like a bunch of them on tier 11, okay. And then the Algari ones, I guess. Oh no, yeah, that's all of them at tier 11. Okay, as a tank, okay, whatever. Anyway, first we collect the gold, then we collect bountiful left, bountiful right, flickering, nemesis, and then we grab bountiful coffer. I did kill everything for the nemesis thing again because, well, they were kind of just in my way. Okay, unfortunato. We get legs, but these have actually good stats. This is kind of worth equipping over the ones that I have right now because haste mastery. Now, I've been thinking about tierifying maybe, so maybe I should look into that. This time I'm taking the Delvo bot out, or the Levo bot. It works so hard, and it just gets ignored by all you people right-clicking your portrait frame and leaving the delve. So rude. We're going to use the Delvo bot 7001 to get to the last bountiful delve we need to do, which I think, yeah, it's side streets loose. Come on, wrist, baby. Give me a wrist. I just want the wrist. Oh, thank goodness we get a gate. I hate this version of side streets loose. Holy shit, that's so much better. Oh, okay. Iveza attacks me in here. That's kind of weird. I don't mind though. That's an extra piece of champion loot that I could potentially get. Let's focus up. You're gonna summon in the clones first, and then the Nexus daggers shortly afterwards. I gotta be on my toes. Massacre number 1. Second one is right next to it, so it's not a big deal. Just gotta get her to 50%. Now she's gonna summon in daggers herself. 3 lines of daggers, then a clone that does another 3, and then another clone that does another 3. Luckily, all of this area is perfectly flat, so I can actually see them. Most of the time when she does that shit, she just, you know, the clones spawn like on a table, and then you don't see the lines on the ground and just get one-tapped by it like an idiot. Dark Massacre's up again. We just gotta stare at these guys, and she's out of here. Give me some wrists, baby. Come on now. Oh, she didn't even drop an epic item. Never mind. That's disappointing. Sometimes she does, sometimes she doesn't. I don't really understand it. Oh, there's a bunch of ethereals in here that I need to beat up. I can do that. Oh, we missed some in the corner. I'm hoping that the steel soul will give enough here for the completion. Hopefully, we're gonna find out. It did not, but I think like one more enemy from over there and we should be good. I should have just pulled these guys in. Can I? Oh, I did get him hit by the train. Get wrecked. That was very satisfying. That was a really nice death grip. That gives us percent, I guess, if you could call it percent for a delve. And that is indeed the 4th delve done. Look at that. Amazing. Once more, we collect all of the gold first. Then we collect left bountiful heavy trunk, right bountiful heavy trunk, flickering spoils from the little thing we found, Nemesis strongbox from doing this side where we got all of them, even though I think I already killed all the Nemesis enemies. And then bountiful coffer. Nice thing about this place is you will actually get the Nemesis chest even if you haven't killed any of those. And we got another trinket. Okay, whatever, man. It gives haste. It's not horrible, you know? It's not useless. I don't know if it's better than the symbiotic ether gauze. I guess we'll find out in dungeons, maybe. Or somebody can tell me in the comments. But it's delve trinkets. They all kind of suck, so it doesn't really matter. All right, with that done, that's all the delves. It's time to actually do some content. Now, I do have a Ecodome Aldani to do. That might be a good way to start this whole challenge off. This video is going to be mostly about me gearing and then one quick run. So we're going to do the +2. I'm a little disappointed that I didn't get my wrists, but hey, you know, you got to take what you can get. Sometimes you can't get what you want, and that's just life, man. That's just life. I'm 14 and this is deep, bro. Anyway, we're going to go and do this Ecodome Aldani. I'm going to host it, find myself some friends to do it with, and then we're going to hopefully have a +4 or +5 key. And then later in the stream, I'm probably going to push for some 6s or something and fill up the vault a bit more, and you know how it goes. And here we go with a +2 Ecodome Aldani. The route we're going to be taking is something like this. Pause, take a look if you need to. We're going to be pulling pretty much everything except for this first group. And we're going to get started. Okay, we're going to drop a Blood Boiler 2 as we keep moving here. We got Dancing Rune Weapon going. We're going to pull all of this. Icebound Fortitude to keep us a little bit safer here as we group everything up. Blood Boil is up. I can get a Blood Boil on this. Might gets gripped in. Never mind, it does not. We're going to look for some kicks on these mites. Some people are going down. We should lust here if we haven't already. Okay, no lust, that's fine, no worries. We'll just do it natty, whatever. I don't care. Ideally we would have lusted here, but I'm going to assume that people playing right now are playing alts and they're not used to having bloodlust, you know? That's just how it goes sometimes. I'm gonna wait for one more hit to hit me. Stop trying to hit me and hit me, because that will lower my cooldown on Dancing Rune Weapon, and we can use it yet again in here. And we have lots of mites coming through and casting their gorges. When the mites die, then you get a stacking dot, depending on how many times they got a gorge out. This is a bit of a cluster because I had to move a lot because of the zones on the ground. Because as you know, Blizzard loves to make melee just suffer, including the tank. So here we are. We're going to use another sort of bone shield shard spending ability, which is Tombstone. We use it so that we can make sure that we lower the cooldown of our Dancing Rune Weapon. We're going to Blood Boil these guys, use a movement speed ability, Blood Boil these guys, and we're going to send a Dancing Rune Weapon up there. No, we're not. It's already active. Never mind. I lied. I lied about everything, and I'm so sorry. Okay, Blood Boil does get aggro finally. There we go. That was a bit of a cluster to group, but I'm not very good at Blood DK grouping things. That's just kind of my weak point here, I guess. But I'm sure that I will get into the hang of it as we keep going. Now, no Bloodlust was used. I'm assuming we're just going to use it on the boss, hopefully. Hopefully someone remembers to use it on the boss. The, whatchamacallits, the hunter did ask the shaman to use Bloodlust instead of them, so that is something we can count on, I guess, is the shaman to know that they will do that, because they said okay over here in the party chat. We're hoping that is the case. I really kind of don't want to use Dancing Rune Weapon here, because these two mobs don't do anything. I'm not at threat of dying, and even though this WeakAura is like, hey, use it, dumbass, it's off cooldown, I kind of want to just save it for when I start the boss fight, because then I can smack the boss real good. So we'll do that. We do have the slow D&D, or Priest is saying something. He's saying DPS, please. I'm going to right click and ignore them, because that is actually really freaking rude. It's a +2, bro. Get over yourself. All right, there we go. The shaman says bloodlust, and then he uses it. Definitely getting some newish players. Looks like the rogue didn't quite figure out what to do with that puddle. That's okay. We're going to just navigate around that puddle. It shouldn't be too much of an issue. We just kind of walk around the boss and it's fine. I am not threatened by pretty much anything in this dungeon unless I spend too much time grouping and the mobs just sort of beat the shit out of me for too long without me actually trying to survive. So I'm not too worried about whatever the group does, to be honest with you. We got a dancing rune weapon coming in. We're going to go ahead and use that. Now, ideally, we would group up and stack up so that these mites, as they jump around, don't actually end up going all across the room and can get DPS down, so that when the Devour starts, like right now, I don't have to be gripping mobs. We're going to drop a D&D over there and a D&D over here. We're going to hard switch to these mobs. Even though I'm the tank, I can get out of melee because the boss is channeling an ability. He's not meleeing right now, so don't have to worry about that. Everyone's kind of focusing on this side of the room. I would ideally have them focus that side, but there's only so much we can do. It looks like he's going to eat 3 of them. He gets a bit of a damage buff. 4 of them is what he ate, actually. Never mind. He gets a bit of a damage buff, so the dots from the boss are going to hurt a little bit more. It's not going to be a big deal, though, for a +2 key. In a group of this caliber, truly. I mean, let's take a quick look here at the item level. 0 item level from the healer. That just means he doesn't have details, so details can't pick it up. 676 being the lowest, seemingly, from our hunter friend here. But that is plenty for a +2, in my opinion. I am overgeared to the point of it being kind of comical. But I get my gearing out of the way early so that I don't have to worry about gearing the character as I'm doing the series. I could just focus on, getting rating and stuff. Of course, we will still increase the item level of our character as we keep going along because that's just fun. Let's just make sure that we keep all of our, all of our bone shield charges. There we go. Let's hit this, drop a D&D here, taunt this guy. They're all going to group up. Ideally, people don't start hitting things before it's too early into the pull. But I think we've got things covered. We're going to interrupt this guy. And now we have dancing rune weapon and a bit of a messy gather, but we got the job done. People did get a bit of aggro. I think it was healer aggro for the most part. We're going to grip the rune stalker in so he doesn't hit anyone that's in melee, and then we don't have to worry about that anymore. The sentinel just lost his core. We're going to try and prio him. Like, I'm going to target him and beat the shit out of him. We're looking for a kick soon on the far stalker. That arcing zap actually does a chain lightning kind of thing. It arcs. That's what it says. Gotta keep those death strikes rolling, making sure I don't kick the bucket here. Healer might be freaking out a little bit and spamming heals into me. That's not exactly necessary. Unless your DK is low on runic power, it doesn't have bone shield charges, and is low HP, you don't really need to heal them. So if those things don't add up, you don't need to do anything about it. You just let him kind of figure things out for himself. We're gonna run into melee here, blood boil, hit this guy, and just stack up over here. Let him focus on the far stalker so I can use my focus interrupt macro and make sure that I interrupt him when he starts casting that. We're gonna go ahead and kick him. I had to move back a little bit because he teleported over to someone, but that's perfectly fine. Don't think I risked anything by doing that. If the sentinel frontal was active, though, I may have opted not to kick him and let the zap go through, because this frontal would have been turned on all of my friends here and may have murdered them, and I don't like murdering my friends. I don't think that's very good. We're going to grip this guy in. He's going to cast again, and then we're going to kick him. There we go. That also works. I'm going to just try and not point this frontal anywhere dangerous, because I think people were avoiding the puddles to this side, and if I try to run in to that side to try and get my try and get my stuff done that way, to like move away from the puddles or whatever myself, I think people die. So I'd rather stand in puddles and stuff. Now this pull's a little dangerous. I'm not a big fan of it. There's 3 far stalkers, so I'm relying on my group to kick. We're gonna grip this guy in. We're gonna kick this guy. We're going to AoE CC is on cooldown, so I can't do that. I was going to CC that whole thing over there, but whatever. I'm focusing a bit too much on yapping and a little too little on actually keeping my bone shield charges going, so I should try to keep around 10 stacks. That's what people told me in my previous run of Blood DK, is just keep around 10 stacks. That will help you. I didn't really see the benefit of it, but I think it just gives you more wiggle room when you start getting hit a lot. that arcing zap does go out. See, in the keys that actually matter, where there's, you know, a lot of scaling and stuff, that would be a bit of an issue. But here, I think we're kind of chilling. I think we can go into what I would consider the boss pull here, or the last pull before the boss. Let's do this. Let's grip this guy in. Let's blood boil. And now we're ready to actually, you know, chill here. We're going to use an AoE CC here to make sure that we stop the Ruin Stalker's charge so he stays in melee and is able to get cleaved down with the rest of these mobs. The size of this pet is actually really irritating. I really wish Blizzard would just, you know, give me an option to make the pets really small, because goodness gracious, the size of these pets sometimes is just kind of ridiculous. We're going to use an anti-magic shell here for that frontal, just to be somewhat useful with mitigation, I guess. Although I don't think I really need it. I kind of just stand there and get punched and I'm still going to be fine. One more final kick for this Far Stalker before we go into the boss fight. The boss is going to spawn in. What we're going to do is hopefully not pull this, but we did end up pulling it. I'm just going to pull it into boss. I'm going to just ping people that I'm going towards the boss and pulling it. We're going to Dancing Rune Weapon here. I'm going to put focus on this Far Stalker here, hopefully. Yep, there we go. And then we're going to interrupt it when it casts. There's one cast in this. Phase Blades don't do much, so we're kind of big chilling. We're going to try and get closer so that we can beat the shit out of this Javelin and also keep everything stacked so people can cleave. The other Javelin does also need to kind of get wrecked. We're going to drop an anti-magic zone here for our friend because he's not using a defensive and he's in a lot of danger because the Javelin's living for a long time because it was kind of too far away. But we managed to live. That's all that matters. We're going to interrupt the Far Stalker again, make sure he can't cause any trouble. And I just used my Dancing Rune Weapon at a really inopportune time. So I'm going to wait for everyone's thing to go through. It looks like the Hunter just doesn't really want to do the mechanic, so he's just going to stand over there. He's got the mechanic again. He doesn't really understand it, it seems. But that's okay. 2 other people do, which is what matters. And now we get one more run. The Hunter's kind of just standing there. He's just going to take it to the dome. He doesn't really care. Okay. That's fine, I guess. That's how he chose to play this. I mean, that's big balls right there. 0 defensive, 0 anything. Just kind of standing there vibing, standing and everything. Shit, man. Sometimes you just gotta vibe like that and do 0 damage to the boss because he's immune to damage during that phase. I'm sure he was building some kind of resource. That's exactly what he was doing. We're gonna use a Dancing Rune Weapon here. Hopefully we get the Javelin soon so I get some value out of that. Hopefully people don't stack on top of each other like this person just did. I'm gonna try my best to stack the boss on top of this so even people that are sort of just mashing the boss kind of sometimes accidentally do something helpful, which is hit the Javelin. You're supposed to hard switch to the Javelins because it gives a stacking dot to whoever's in the Javelin. So you want to stack them as close as possible while not hitting other people. There's another Javelin coming through. Hunter kind of just, yeah, kind of not really understanding how that works at all. But that's okay, you know, it's a +2. This is where you learn the dungeon. Hunter's doing okay damage, so he knows how to play his spec, seemingly. What he doesn't seem to know is the dungeon, and that's okay. I'm kind of okay with people learning dungeons in +2s. Kind of okay, that's such a stupid thing to say. I'm perfectly okay with people learning dungeons in +2s. What I'm not okay with is people learning the dungeon, learning what their class does, learning pretty much everything about everything. And Hunter still doesn't seem to understand. He's watching people do this, but he's not really figuring out what to do with the line. He's so close to doing it correctly. I think he accidentally did it correctly there just by sheer dumb luck of the mob spawning where it did. Okay. I'm sure he's recording right now and he'll take a look at the VOD and be like, okay, yeah, that's what we needed to do. That is what we needed to do. I'm just going to pull more over there rather than pull one group over here. I was kind of wanting to pull that one group back there because that's kind of what I do to make sure that I get %, but right now I think I'm just going to pull more here. Hopefully people realize they can just hug along the side here, and we're going to try and hit this immediately. By hitting it immediately with the thing I hit it with, I am able to retain my stacks of Dancing Rune Weapon, sorry, Bone Shards, so that's kind of nice. We're going to grip this Ritualist, and ideally I would grab that Creeper, but he's kind of all the way out there, you know what I mean? He's just not in this whole situation at all. But we'll make up for it later on with some other % elsewhere. I think that's what we'll have to do. I don't have much of a choice. Looking at the Far Stalker, gonna put a focus on it. I think it's dead before anything happens. Now we do need to kill this Spirit so that the Pack Speaker doesn't get much of a shield. We managed to do so relatively efficiently. Okay. I'm going to hit this guy and I'm going to ping that I'm going over there. I just want people to know that I'm going over there, which means even though I'm going to hit this, I'm going to interrupt this, keep it moving, grip it over here, and just stop here. I'm going to ping assist over here, grip this thing, and now everything should be grouped. Dancing Rune Weapon comes out, make sure that we're nice and safe, and also doing bazillions of damage, because Dancing Rune Weapon lets you spam Vampiric Strike, and Vampiric Strike is big damn, as you can see on the meters right now. Now, I don't have any kind of tier set, so I'm not really empowering anything too much, but I'm playing the spec as the spec is meant to be played, which is when you have Vampiric Strike, you press it, unless you absolutely cannot because of some other reason. We did manage to get that creeper that I was talking about earlier, so I'm kind of happy about that. And we got to build up these bone shield charges. This is getting a little silly. I dropped a D&D just here near the end of this pull, but I think that's okay. Now we have a hell of a pull coming up, so I'm going to try and run a bit ahead of the group and do this. Drop a D&D on these to get some initial aggro, hit that guy, hit this guy, and that should be it. Okay, that's about as much as I can do here for the group. We're gonna taunt this because the rogue decided to hit that one specifically, apparently, and hopefully we can kick this arcing zap. The rogue goes down, rogue releases. We're gonna Dancing Rune Weapon, and it's really hard to group these things when people start blasting them immediately and just lose aggro. But hey, you know what? We're gonna make it work. The spirit needs to go out. Yeah, this is a bit of an annoying pull to group when people don't let you. I'm gonna be honest. Let's focus a Fark Stalker and try to interrupt one. We're gonna CC first, and then we're going to do an interrupt on this. We're gonna CC again with our Taran Racial. No one seems to want to kick. No one really seems to want to kick, but that's okay. I don't know why the hunter release question mark. Like you could have already been back here and helping us. I don't know. You're expecting a CR? You know what? F it. Man's just vibing. Man's just vibing. He wants a CR. He's gonna get a CR. There you go. Take the CR. Be greedy and shitty like that. I don't know what to tell you, man. Whatever. I don't think I like this hunter anymore. I thought he was like just big vibing, but now I just feel like he's a big douching. He just stood there and sat, you know, did nothing while we were fighting this big pack. He could have ran back by the time I CR'd him. But I guess we had 2 CRs, then we have 1. That should be fine. Pack Speaker living for a very long time. I don't think we really switched all that hard to the things with the stuff. What is it called? The spirits. But that's okay. Let's click this and buff up, because I'm about to do a bit of a heck of a pull. Let's call it that. A bit of a heck of a pull. I'm gonna ping that I'm going in that direction. I just need people to wait for me to do so. Okay, I'm gonna kick this and let's get going. I'm pinging that I'm going here. Somebody's gonna have to kick that guy eventually in the back, but that's not my problem right now. My problem is grouping this. He's coming over. We're gonna grip him into the pack, and that is good. Farstalker getting focused right now, and let's switch over to this. We're gonna interrupt the Farstalker because he's kind of scary with that zap on top of the AoE erratic ritual here. Now we are going to be missing some percent, I think, because of the group I skipped or so in the area after second, like at the second boss. But I think I'll be able to make it work by just picking something up after we're done with the last boss. Not a big fan of it, but it just feels like kind of more efficient. I guess I just traded it off and moved it later down the line, which might not have been the best choice, but it's whatever. We're going to get a bloodlust here for the boss, and then we're going to move on, and it's fine. It's not a big deal. It's a +2. It's not that deep. I opt to not pull both of these packed speakers at the same time. In a +2, I don't think it really matters. But in hierarchies, I feel like the erratic ritual is just a lot because people are allergic to defensives. So it just feels like something I shouldn't do. And I try to make PUG safe routes. So it's not an optimal route. It's not the fastest route or whatever. I'm not trying to beat world records for +2 keys. I'm just trying to get, my +10s done in a safe and reliable way. Okay, we're going to have to kill the spirit. We just about almost killed the pack speaker. It's unfortunate, but no big deal. He is not going to give us percent. I think we go boss with lust, and then we just go next. I think that's okay. I'm going to build up some bone shield charges here. Shaman is drinking. We're going to pull because he started drinking, and that's all I care about. If he starts drinking, he can keep drinking in combat and shouldn't be much of an issue. Now it's time to run around the room collecting our spirit, which is great. I'm going to very quickly do so like this. It was close enough so I didn't use a movement speed ability. I just didn't really want to. Whispers of Fate coming in. We're going to step away. Oh, okay. Maybe don't stand on top of me, Hunter. I appreciate it. Bloodlust was finally popped, so that's kind of good. This one is again close, so we're not gonna use any movement speed abilities. And now we're gonna get the big AoE one. So we're going to drop a zone here for people if they want to stand in it. If they can, that's great. If not, sucks to be them. We're gonna grab this, then we're gonna see which one is going to be the next one that's targeted by the cleave. It's this one. I only grab one at a time, so I'm not just spending a huge amount of time running around. And also, this way, I can extend the buff that I'm getting from these things. See how I have a longer time remaining on the buff than I otherwise would, so I can do more damage for longer. I feel like it works out. I feel like it's worth doing. We have a tombstone coming up. Let's make sure we have a D&D down for that. Tombstone goes out, drops the cooldown of our ability by quite a bit. We're going to use Wraithwalk here to pick that up really quickly because it was a little bit far away. We're working our way towards that juicy, what's this thing called? Can I just turn around? Okay, I was thinking about just turning around so that I can actually get CDR because I'm parrying the boss quite a bit. I don't want to parry the boss quite a bit. I'd rather just, you know, get hit so that I get my CDR on Dancing Rune Weapon from a Bone Shield charge being depleted. And that is El Jefe El Dere. And we're going to go up here and I'm going to ping these so that people know that I'm pulling those. Is that what I should pull? I feel like that is what I should pull. All right, these guys, this and this. Yeah, that's percent. Okay, let's make sure we move it all the way over here. All the way over here. We want to avoid pulling Shaikolud over there. I just want his little cousins here. Just want his little cousins. I think that'll work just fine. The Dancing Rune Weapon is ready to go again. And we're going to do some big dam here on the last pull. On the last pull of the dungeon. All right, now one thing I did just notice is that I need to make a fix for my WeakAura. And that is actually percent. And we are actually done with Eco de Maldani +2. We 2 started, which is really nice. I'm going to remove this priest because no one else's cloth, so any loot they get, we don't care about. I removed the priest because he was extremely rude towards the rogue. I'm going to hit the group with a, if you guys want to see this, you can blah, 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 the shill message, and we're going to peace out. Not too shabby for my first +2. Or for my first M+ key, or whatever you want to call it. But it's not like it's my first key ever. It's not like it's my first time playing Blood DK. At this point, we're big chillin' with pretty much every spec except for, I guess, VDH. VDH I actually have not played yet. But no loot from the dungeon was unfortunate. We did complete the Cracked Keystone quest. We're going to, we turned it in, so I'm going to delete this item because otherwise it never leaves your inventory. We got a Priory +4, but that's going to be something I do probably on stream later, where I push up to some 6s, do some 6s for the vault. You know how it goes. Because it is Monday, or sorry, no, it is Tuesday, so it's the last day before the reset for us EU folk, and I want to kind of fill out the vault here. We got some M0 runs and all that, but I want to have some more stuff here. So that'll be happening on the stream. We have tier 11 delves out the wazoo. We've done 12 actually. In the last 3 days, every day I did 4 tier 11 delves. So we're kind of chilling on that front. That's going to be 3 hero items we can pick from here. Ideally, one of them is tier. Same for this. Hopefully we get a tier piece from the M+ stuff that we do for the vault, because that'll be higher item level than the 1 out of 6 hero pieces we get from delves. But we'll see what we end up getting, you know? Don't look a gifted tier piece in the item level. Just accept the tier piece and go catalyze another thing so you can get 2 set. That's what grandma always used to say. And it was really weird because I didn't play WoW at the time and it made no sense. But grandma was always kind of weird like that. So I did mention a WeakAura thing I wanted to do, and that is when I have Dancing Rune Weapon up, but my current target doesn't have Blood Boil and 3 different applications of Blood Boil, what I wanted to do is I wanted to make a Blood Boil glow. I feel like that might be a good idea to do. So let's take a quick look over here. We're going to go to blood, above bar blood. We're going to go to blood boil. And we're going to add a trigger. Now the trigger is going to be the blood plague dot as a debuff on my target. So let's add a trigger. It's going to be target. It's going to be debuff. It's going to be named blood plague. It's going to be only my own. I don't care about other blood DKs thingy with the stuff. And now the tricky bit is figuring out how exactly, like how many stacks. It's not stacks because it's individual applications. 1 from myself, 1 from one Dancing Rune Weapon, and 1 from another. So 3 individual applications. So what I'm checking for is whether I have 3 applications of it or not. And I just realized what I need is I also need to track if I have Dancing Rune Weapon active or not. Luckily, I have a Dancing Rune Weapon tracker. We're going to check the trigger on that. We're going to go back to Blood Boil. We're going to add a trigger. This is a buff on me named Dancing Rune Weapon. Own only is what I'm interested in. And now I also want to correct this. I want to switch to any triggers, and we're going to switch the dynamic information from trigger 1. This will make it so that this is the actual information I'm getting for this WeakAura right here. And the other 2 are just here for the conditions I want to set. Now, I need all of these conditions to be true. So if match count per unit is less than 3, and I do have Dancing Rune Weapon active, what I want to do is I want Blood Boil to glow. Let me check if the glow is correct. It's action button glow. That's very good. So now if I go in here, I summon in Dancing Rune Weapon, Blood Boil is glowing. Why? Because I don't have 3 stacks of Blood Boil on the target. I can see that with this little button, with this number here. So if I press Blood Boil now, it no longer glows. Why? Because I have 3 stacks, even though Dancing Rune Weapon is active, which I think is absolutely wonderful. And that is now sorted out. It was really annoying me because I'm missing out on good Blood Plague damage that I could be doing, because Blood Plague does do a good chunk. Like 6% is not a small amount, considering I was missing some applications of triple stacks of it. So I may as well learn to do so by using a WeakAura to help me out and remind me, like, hey, you know, you got Dancing Rune Weapon out, you can apply 3 stacks of Blood Boil or of Blood Plague, may as well Blood Boil while you have it out. So I think that's really nice. I think it's a nice little WeakAura. By the way, if you want these WeakAuras, just check out my Definitely Not community Discord, where you can get all of my WeakAuras and all of the add-ons I use and any profiles I have for them in the Addons WeakAuras channel. It's linked in the description of every video I make, so you can check it out over there. But friends, that I think is pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, drop a like, make sure you subscribe, because there's more episodes coming. We gotta do all 10s on this character after all, and plenty more specs still left to do for all tanks, all 10s. Include the word release in your comment, because that hunter should have released, so we can save CRs for next season. If you do include the word release in your comment, I'll make sure to heart it, because I know you made it all the way to the end of the video. But as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode.